Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Non-Expert Guide to African TV and Film. Before we go on, don't forget to subscribe. Yep, that's the notification bell down there. All right, let's jump right in.
I dare say that what we're doing right now is activism.
That's it. The level of change is not normal. Oh, so say sugar, giving them the work.
Well, hello people and welcome to another episode of the Non-Expert Guide to African TV and Film, where we talk about films from the continent, TV series, web series, also from filmmakers in diaspora. So I have with me my non-experts. To my left is Tolu Orekoya.
Hello. Welcome to a rainy day in Lagos and traffic and all sorts of fun stuff on a Saturday. So, yay team, let's keep it moving.
And here is our other non-expert, Ibiyemi Oshinaike.
Hello. It's a dark night here in Singapore, but anyway, let's talk film.
Yes, let's. All right, so today we are talking about Sugar Rush, which was just released just a few days ago, actually, on Netflix. It's out of Nigeria. I'm going to read a quick synopsis. And here it goes. After discovering a huge sum of money, a trio of sisters swipes it for personal use until the authorities and a shady mob boss come to collect the cash. It stars Adesua Atomi, Bisola Ayeola, and Bimbo Ademoye. Yeah, okay, people. So what did we love? Let's talk about that first.
So, just as a preamble, Sugar Rush was a monster hit. It had some of the biggest names in Nigeria. Well, like celebrities, youngish celebrities in Nigeria. Banky W, his wife Adesua Etomi, Wellington, Toke Makinwa was in there. And a good smattering of like famous faces and names. And there was a huge amount of publicity around it. I mean, I have to say their PR game was probably the best I've seen in a while. They even got yanked out of the cinemas for a little bit because of, I don't know what Nigerian agency got a bee in their bonnets. And then back in the cinemas, and that's just increased the hype even more. So, it was a really well promoted movie, and I have to give them some incredibly mad props. Banky W is a PR person now, so yeah, they did a really good job with that. What I liked about the movie, I loved the use of language in the movie. That was, I think, maybe my most favorite thing about it, because I felt at least these are Nigerians speaking, and you know, there are things that Nigerians behave and do and say that I felt were really well integrated into the movie. I felt that I can see what they were doing, and I applaud that they were doing that sort of thing. It's very Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of sort of slapstick, over the top, almost Pink Panther-like comedy, where you have it's a heist movie. So I think that they did there were a lot of really nice touches with what they did with the script and what they did with the storytelling that I enjoyed. I think the actors did a decent job. Bola did a really good job. In fact, I enjoyed them. I think the scenes I enjoyed the most were when the sisters were interacting with each other, with Adesua or Susie being the straight-laced one who would let go sometimes, and her two rather flighty, airheaded sisters, and they have this caper going on. So I enjoyed it for what it was.
Okay, thank you. Ibiyemi?
I thought it was the funniest thing in forever. Even just remembering some scenes now, I'm still laughing. I thought it was brilliant, honestly. So what did I like about it? I liked it, like Tolu said, the interaction between the sisters. It's just so much fun to watch. The language was great. They were very natural. They expressed themselves the way you would expect, a Nigerian to express themselves. I know we're not like, a monolith or what have you, but But it was recognizable. Whatever it was recognizable. It was relatable. The characters I thought were the real Nigerian characters. I thought were very good. Like the incompetent policeman, even though that was very slapstick, very sort of Manuel from Faulty Towers type character. I like the fact that there was a lot of glam in it, which again, from a Nigerian perspective, why does everything have to be about wealth? But it was fun to watch. The girls looked good, so that was good. There's some really good scenes as well, in terms of the shots of like the camera angles or whatever you want to call them. I wouldn't say angles, but it was just whatever the scene was. Sometimes it did make you think, I like Lagos Sha, a few times. So that was quite nice. Banky W's eyebrows. Brother was, I don't know, but I like that. Brother was there, giving them arch eyebrows. I don't know if that's natural, but whatever it was so good because it was ridiculous, but also slightly ominous. So I thought he played that part really well. It was ridiculous, but it was completely, I wouldn't even say forgivable. There's nothing to forgive. It was just so much fun. The whole thing from start. Well, let me not say the whole thing from start to finish, because I do have some misgivings about some parts. But it was fun. That's what I liked about it. It was great. I barely laughed. My kids had to come from another room to say, are you laughing or are you crying? I'm like, I'm laughing. But it was also difficult to explain to them because, oh, tell me what happened. But I couldn't express it to them. I expressed it to them in Yoruba, but they wouldn't get it. And I think that's such a beautiful thing that they're speaking my language. And it's not so much the language of Yoruba, but they're speaking in a way that I instantly connect with. And I thought that was just brilliant. It wasn't, obviously there were lots of characters that were speaking in a way that I was like, thank you, please move on. But it's good to watch something that you can instantly relate to. It's good to watch comedy that you find funny and you laugh, as opposed to Western comedy that you get intellectually, but you're like, okay. I get it, but it's cool funny now. But this one, I was like, so it's not as if I don't have a sense of humor. It's just that it's not something that really tickles me from the inside. And when I watch this, that makes me feel like, yes, this is comedy coming from Nigeria. So yeah, I really liked it. I'm a fan.
Okay, ask me what me I liked.
What did you like about it? Lola, be careful. Lola, we'll fight. Don't let us fight.
Oh my God.
Lola, yeah. Hansi, tell us, what did you like about it?
Me? I liked looking at that character named...
That uncle.
That Dan.
Mawoli's character, I think they could have just used one line to explain him. Because you're like, what is this posh guy doing here? And I know there are a few returnees in EFCC, actually. I've met a couple of them. But Dan, yes. So they could have just explained it like, I came back and I wanted to do something for my country and I believe in it. When they were having that conversation, because when she was talking about, the issues with Nigeria after his sexy off-shirt scene. So
I thought something was going to happen between them anyway. But
honestly,
that's one of the things I really liked, that they did not make them romantic partners. I like that they achieved that tension, but they didn't act, because I think that it gave Adeswa's character more agency in her. Like, she was the one essentially leading, and I like that about the story as well, that she was the one essentially being the brains. Everybody was a beta character compared to her. She was the one leading the heist. She was the one coming up with ideas. She was the one making the key decisions that moved the plot along. So I think they did a really good job making a female-led, sort of female-driven plot. So thumbs up for that.
Yeah, so there were some funny parts. Definitely. There were some jokes that made me laugh. Yes. And that's all I'm going to say.
Wow. Betrayer, near betrayer.
Can I just mention?
I don't feel the same way as you guys.
My favorite scene, my favorite part was when the EFCC boss lady called the computer guy and said, come and show me this thing. He said, oh yeah, let me just, she slapped, I said, come on, my friend.
Funny though.
Just like that.
Yes.
And you know what? She slapped it out of his hand to the extent I thought, oh, that drink is going to go everywhere. And I thought, did she really mean to do that? Whatever it was, but it was so real, wasn't it? It wasn't like, well, I'm going to slap it out of your hand gently because I don't want to make a mess on set. No. Will you get out of the It was funny.
That was funny. No, that was funny. I agree.
My funniest bit, I know we're not doing that now, but I'm going to do it anyway. When Tokemakiwa's character, Danny, whatever her name was, Auntie, as they all called her, and she was saying they're going to go and steal money from Anikulakbo. And they're all saying, Auntie, no. And this one said, Susie said, we'll do it. And Bimbo's character turned to her and said, Auntie, sheko yiburu. What's the funniest thing? Because I think it's a real thing. When they say, oh, you precede your insult with a respectful, respectful address. So, Auntie, because this thing that's coming out of your mouth.
For me, they did have a lot of good. I like the scene, for instance, when Lola comes and she sees the money and she's like, "You have done
ritualism."
That ritualism. And it was a bit over the top, but I was like, okay, that's fun. And sort of how but as time wore on, it was just like, okay, I get it.
So let's talk about the plot, which is always the most important thing for me in a film. It's like, did it work? What was the plot? Was there one?
I said, there are 4.5 bad guys inside this movie. Half, because one gets run over fairly early on in the movie, and I'm just like, are there not enough? They just kept, and I guess it's the ridiculousness, the again Pink Panther-ness of it all. And here's another bad guy, and here's another bad guy. Oh no, wait, one more bad guy, and surprise, this bad guy. And I get it was supposed to be ridiculous and over the top, but I was just like at this point now, why do we have all these people? And then we get into the last third of this movie. I'm just like, wow, the Nigerian movie. To be very fair, I think she wrote it for a certain type of audience. I think, or rather, it was written for a certain type of audience that would appreciate all of this. And obviously, it did well at the box office, and it did well on social media at the very least. So the audience did appreciate it. I'm just not in that
category.
I'm not in that set.
It reminded me of a film that I grew up in Ife, and there was a film that was shown on, I don't remember if now it was BCOS, before they split Oyo and Osun states, or OSBC, I think it was what it was. But it was shown often. It was called What's Up, Doc? It's an old film. It had Barbara Streisand. Remember?
The one with it's like a British.
Was it British? I don't even remember. Was it Ryan O'Neill? I can't remember his name. But yeah, it was this whole thing when they were kind of running through the street and people were praying and they were dabaruing people having a party and blah, blah, blah. That reminded me of that film that I watched in my child. And I'm sure there are many other films like that. So, I get what they were trying to do, but there were just so many plot holes, it just didn't make sense to me. At each point, you're just like, and like Tolu said, all these people, who are all these people? A new character. Every other minute, you're getting introduced to a new character. Come on.
So in terms of the plot, I think it was, some bits of it you would excuse on the basis of, it's supposed to be ridiculous, it's supposed to be slapstick, yeah? Mm-hmm. But some of it, you're like, no, this is just shoddy writing. Mm-hmm. That's the way I felt anyway. And you're right, the last third of the movie was kind of like, did you guys just get tired? There's just some bits and actually there's some bits that they could have taken some care and they should have paid some more attention to elaborate, like the scene at the end where the youngest, where Bimbo's character and the second EFCC guy, where they were intoxicated. Now, I don't know if I missed something, but they didn't show us when they were taking anything. They just came out and they acted funny. So I thought that would have been such a good scene for them to show them where, because they were kind of like the ones that kind of went off the rails every now and again and just couldn't be controlled. A scene where you'd have shown them when they were doing that, indulging, and maybe even start a little romantic thing between the two of them at that point, I think would have been perfect and would have set that scene up better. So I thought that was a huge hole. And you're right, there are a few characters there that I didn't think were needed or they didn't work. They didn't need to have Andy and then the other area boy, the one that speaks
Oh,
Yoruba,
the one
like
that ended up in.
yeah, they didn't need to have both of them. They could have just used one. They didn't. I don't think they needed the first character, the first villain that showed up in their house as well, because we didn't need two scenes where they were captured and in trouble. Although you kind of went, oh my God, again, you guys are so unlucky. So that added to it, but I'm not sure they needed all of that. But another thing as well, suddenly we learn about Daddy Sugar and how he had a history with Anikulakbo. And I'm like, really? For real? There was no need for that because it was never resolved anyway. I mean, not in a good way. So they didn't really need to add all of that. They didn't need anything personal. I think the storyline that they're trying to, get out of a bad situation and help their mother would have been perfect. They didn't need to add that. So yeah, the plot was a bit wonky.
And on Anikulakbo, we were waiting for this guy now, right? He eats cornflakes out of people's skulls.
But he was bad though.
Yeah. But then I didn't say, I was like, okay, besides the fact that he's like, immune to bullets, what else is, I was really expecting something and I was quite disappointed when he finally
No, I don't agree. I think he was a bad guy through and through. He was actually a terrifying figure, I think. And I think the makeup really helped. It really, really did put him in the light of, I don't want to meet this guy in a dark alley.
I don't understand. Adesua sees this bag in the trunk. She takes it out, or in the boot of a car. Takes it out. Doesn't open it. And then she sees this Babalao, whose existence in this film I don't understand.
All of a sudden, they're just walking through walls and...
Yeah. As in, so remember we talked about this with Atlantics, right? How at first, we're watching this regular movie and then it turns to supernatural, but it works because of the way they do it. And in this case, exactly, I'm just like, what in the world?
And the last third was so rushed and so full of things. I don't think they even had time to settle into the story. Like, I don't even know how this movie ended because all you saw was people running with suitcases and Nikulakba opened suitcases that were empty or how do they even have time?
So they got the money now.
And they got the money, but it was just.
No, by the way, they get the money. I'm confused. I thought Latif Adedimeji's character got the money. The guy.
No, he got the first one. He got the first $800,000 or what was left of it. Andy threw the bag.
Yeah, to him.
So he got that one. But then the second time,
I didn't even understand that we were talking about two different amounts of money. I thought.
Please come on, be good. Come on, be good.
There were two different batches of money, Lola. Two different, and this is So
let's agree that the plot was a bit lazy. I think it was a bit lazy and it was a bit all over the place.
I think in general this movie worked for its audience. I mean, Ibiyemi enjoyed it, and I think there are a ton of people who watch these kinds of movies and enjoy them too. I mean, I watched Pink Panther. It's okay for what it is. I mean, with Beyonce. But yeah, I think
I will admit, even I'm not a big fan of stupid funny.
Yes,
I'm not a big fan. Yes. So even when it's somewhat well done, I'm still not a fan. So maybe that's why also.
So like for me, for instance, I don't like Kevin Hart movies because for this same reason. Mm-hmm. So I can watch a Kevin Hart movie and I'm just like, what is this? Yeah. So I think maybe a lot of it is also my personal taste when it comes to comedy and humor and slapstick. And so we reached the end of yet another episode.
Yes, we have. Thank you for joining us. And we hope you enjoyed it. And see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you, Sugar Rush girls.